Hi everyone, I'm Stephanie. I thought it would be a good idea to do a little introduction video for you. I realize some of you have not met me before, and I want you to be able to put a face with the name before we begin our work together, and that others of you may not have ever tried tapping before. So I thought what I would do is just kind of a quick little explainer video that you can watch at your convenience, so that when you come to our session, you'll have some preparation. So by way of introduction, my name is Stephanie. I am a certified clinical EFT practitioner. EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques, plural. It's also known as tapping. You may have some familiarity with tapping. You may have seen a YouTube video. It's definitely something that is becoming more mainstream. It's an extremely effective and very powerful self-help tool. My certification is in clinical EFT, and what that means is the branch of EFT that I am trained in is evidence-based. So there have been hundreds of randomized control trials and real in-depth scholarly studies done showing EFT to be an extremely effective healing modality. What it does so brilliantly is it targets the stress response. It targets the stress that underlies many things like anxiety, depression, PTSD. It can be effective for phobias, addiction, stage fright, weight loss. Pretty much if there's any stress involved, EFT can really help reduce that stress underneath that issue. So I am not a licensed mental health professional, nor am I authorized to diagnose. You can think of me as a coach versus a therapist. Those of us who are seekers, I am one, and many of us have had a lot of talk therapy. And I just wanted to explain that in EFT, we are specifically working with the language of the body. So you'll notice when we begin our work together, I will ask you, do you feel this anywhere in your body? We begin by calling up a stressful event while tapping. And I always ask, do you feel this in your body? I do that because the body stores memories and negative charges and events and emotions through the way we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. Those are the little tags that the unconscious will put when it stores things away. So what's beautiful about tapping is when we tap, we're specifically working with the language of the body. So we have the opportunity to break a little neural pathway and allow things to clear. So they can clear in a way that doesn't happen if we're just talking about them. And nothing against talk therapy. It's like we need to know sometimes what we're dealing with, and a lot of times just talking is good. But for those persistent things where we just can't rationalize ourselves out of it, tapping can be greatly effective. So that's another little thing I want to explain is we have our cognitive brain, which is our rational, logical, problem-solving brain. We have this whole midbrain, which is where our limbic system lives. This is where we have our fight, flight, freeze, or faint response. It's where we have our little amygdala, which are the little almond-shaped organs whose primary function is, don't let me be killed. So think of it this way. Think of your cognitive brain, your forebrain as your adult, and your limbic brain as your child. And if you've ever had a little kid around you, if the little kid comes forward and says, I'm terrified, and you turn around and you say to that child, you're being illogical. You're being completely irrational right now. What will the kid do? First of all, the kid doesn't understand that language. All the kid knows is, you're not hearing me. So it gets louder. It goes boneless. It flops on the floor and kicks and screams. And so if you think of it that way, you can kind of begin to understand that it's like the more we try to push things down or shove them aside, frequently, that little child in us rises up and screams, you're not listening to me. So in tapping, we're talking to the child, and we're doing it by the language of the body. And it doesn't make a lot of sense to the rational brain, but the beautiful thing that can happen frequently is once we take that stress response down, then the cognitive brain can swing in with a solution to a problem that we never would have thought possible. So that's a little bit of the background. Clinical EFT is really remarkable. We deal in specific events specific to the individual. And as a clinical EFT practitioner, I'm trained in 48 different techniques, including the gentle techniques, which we use specifically for cases of where we've got a really high emotional charge or there might be some trauma. In a group setting, we're doing a much more general form of tapping, but we get this beautiful thing called borrowed benefits, which is when we're tapping on other people's stuff, the unconscious brain will automatically go, oh, I've got something like that. And so we kind of are able to get relief in a broader sense that's not as specific as if we're working one-on-one. So that's my little explainer on that. So next, I want to talk to you about the tapping point. So we always begin on the side of hand point. It's the fleshy part of the side of your hand. And we begin, you can use 2 or 3 fingers. We start tapping on the side of hand point. Now, when we tap, what we're doing is we are sending an electric charge through the path of least resistance in our body. We're tapping on these meridian endpoints, and it sends a message of soothing to the body, and it creates a signal of safety that allows us to call up a stressful event without it really overtaking us. So anyway, we start on the side of hand, and what we do is the setup statement, which is where we state the problem. All right. We follow that with an affirmation, and I'll explain that. The affirmation part is not to try to convince us that we don't have a problem. It is a statement of acceptance. We are accepting the way that we really feel. So this is what it looks like. Even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely accept myself. The affirmation can change. It might be love, accept, and respect myself. I accept how I feel right now. The whole point of using words and tapping, it's not about the words. It's not about how we say things. We use words to tune us in. So if Ishkabibble tunes you in, then you can say Ishkabibble. That's all that matters, all right? So let me get back to the setup statement here. Even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely accept myself. We say that 3 times. Even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I have this problem, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now, after the setup statement, we go to the top of the head. So imagine you've got a string. It's right about where the crown chakra is up here. And we don't state the affirmation. We just say the problem. This problem, top of the head. Then we go to the inner eyebrow point, which is right where the hair of the eyebrow starts. This problem, this problem, this problem. And then we follow the orbital bone around. We go to the outer eye, right there. So you put that finger right where the orbital bone is. This problem, this problem, this problem. We go under the eye, again, following the orbital bone down. This problem, this problem, this problem. We go under the nose. This problem, this problem, this problem. We go under the chin. This problem, this problem, this problem. Then we come down to the collarbone point. This can be a little bit tricky only because it's not actually on your collarbone, even though it's called the collarbone point. It's, if you go down about an inch underneath your collarbone, sometimes you have a little hollow down here where the top of the rib cage is. It's right in there. So if you don't know exactly where that is, if you don't have a hollow, you can do this or use a fist, or some people make a little C with their hand. But that's the collarbone point. This problem, this problem, this problem. And then the final point we do is under the arm. So it's about 4 inches underneath the armpit. And for ladies, it's right where that bra strap is. This problem, this problem, this problem. That is the basic recipe of EFT. So it's different in group settings than it is in individual work. In individual work, there are other things that we do, which we would cover if we ever do individual work together. But I just kind of wanted to give you that introduction and let you know that you can feel empowered by EFT. Once you learn how to use it, you can use it on yourself. It's one of the reasons I love it so much. I've had so many struggles, and I've had serious mental health struggles in my life, and I absolutely love solutions. I love things that empower myself and others to take better care of their health. And certainly in the world right now, we're all triggered all caps, and there's so many things. So I love the idea of getting to share this extremely effective healing modality with you to help you hopefully eliminate some stress in your life. So I can't wait to work together. I look forward to taking this journey. It's really exciting, and I am thrilled that you're in trusting me with this process. So I will see you soon. I'm sending tons of love, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time. Okay.